Hello and welcome to the Dragon's Den. Today I'm making a build guide for Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. This is the Frostfire Trickster Witch. This build is designed to help players in the early game on hard difficulty. There are a few personal choice feats based on my playstyle, but you can change them for your own personal playstyle or goals. Winter's Grasp is going to be a bread and butter spell once we get it at level 2, and that's going to carry us for several levels into the game. This build is also designed around the fact that you can turn all energy spells into cold spells, plus extra DC through a bloodline feat. This is the reason why we take Cross-Blooded Sorcerer at a certain point. And of course, if you don't care about taking that, you can forego Cross-Blooded Sorcerer and take 5 levels of Loremaster for an extra secret. And also another thing to consider is down the road, we get a wizard spellbook at full progression. So these are the reasons why I don't mind taking a dip into like sorcerer or lore master, because we're going to get a bunch of spells later on. I won't say a bunch of spells, but we'll be able to access those spells later on that we might not have gotten through normal means. And without further delay, let's get started. At first level, you will be choosing Elemental Witch. This is personal choice, but it works really well with the build early on. It helps you be tanky and all that. As for race, you can choose human, and that might be recommended, especially if you want that extra beat, but I'll choose Kitsune here. For our background, we'll choose Street Urgent and Pickpocket for the bonus to initiative. For ability points, we will pump everything into intelligence, and we will also do dex. Strength doesn't necessarily matter, and wisdom doesn't necessarily matter, charisma in some cases. For skill points, you're going to want mobility, trickery, stealth, and arcana. And then when you start getting more points eventually, start putting them into perception and world. Now, I know some of you might argue about taking this as a spellcaster, but point blank shot will be our first feat. I normally do not take this and also the following precise shot, because honestly, it doesn't necessarily matter. You can choose really whatever here. Spell pen would be good, something to help you with getting your damage through. But right now, point blank shot, I at least believe taking this not precise shot is okay, because you at least get a +1 regardless. And if you're human, you can go ahead and grab a Metamagic Empower. I would recommend that. Obviously, you won't be able to use that right away, but we'll be saving that for later. As for the familiar, we're going to grab the Hare for more initiative. The Patron is going to be Winter. Our Elemental Ray is Cold. And our spells are going to be Enlarge Person, Reduce Person, Snowball, Mage Armor, and Burning Hands, and kind of whatever you want after that. Wouldn't hurt to get Sleep, and you can get a heal. Yeah, we'll just go and grab that heal. Deity, I'm going to choose Nethys here, either Chaotic Neutral or Neutral, and that'll be level 1 of our build. Level 2, we're going to take another level into Elemental Witch. And again, Mobility, Trickery, Stealth, Arcana. As for our Hex, I recommend Protective Luck, because you're going to be relying on possibly your tank, which is Sela or Lan. Protective Luck just makes it where you get the 2 rolls on attacks against you, which is very useful. And as for spells, you can grab whatever. Level 3, Elemental Witch, yet again, Mobility, Trickery, Stealth, Arcana. Here, we take Skill, Focus, Arcana. We need this for Lore Master at level 7. You can get it at level 6. We'll get to that. First and foremost, you're going to want Winter's Grasp. Secondary spell is kind of your pick, but Glitter Dust. At level 4, we take Elemental Witch and put that point in Intelligence, Mobility, Trickery, Stealth, Arcana, and then we do Perception and World. Here, I like to take Vulnerability Curse, although Evil Eye is just as good. If you have Camellia, which you should, usually I'll put Evil Eye on her, but we're taking Vulnerability Curse. This is nice because if this lands, then they all immunities and stuff are null, so you can land all your elemental stuff on them. Another reason why I recommend taking Vulnerability Curse is when you go to cast Winter's Grasp on enemies, say my companions here are my enemies, 90% of the time they're going to fall. Every turn they take cold damage, just like that.
This is not my time yet.
There's a lot of enemies that have cold resist, and Vulnerability Curse, if it lands, will remove that. So then while you got a group of enemies laying down, all of them taking damage, the ones that have the resist, if you can remove the resist, they're also taking damage while you're whittling them down. Here we take Delay Poison. Actually, no, we don't take Delay Poison here. Here we take Bone Shaker and Mortal Terror. At level 5, we take another level of Elemental Witch, Mobility, Trickery, Stealth, Arcana, and I'll put into... they'll all add up later. Here we take Meta Magic, Selective Spell. This should be self-explanatory, but you apply this to Winter's Grasp, and it's game over when you cast it. Here we take Delay Poison Communal and Stinking Cloud. At level 6, we take Sorcerer Crossblooded. Now, the reason why we take this, my points in, is we're going to grab Arcane Bloodline for this. For when we apply meta magic feats to spells, the spell DCs are at +1. That adds up. The other reason why is we take Elemental Bloodline Water so we can convert all our spells to cold. I like this because then you're getting dual elements in a way where it's like sometimes things are registered as fire and they still take cold damage, but gear that you have that might benefit from fire damage will proc from this as well. So we take that. Now, the other reason why we take it is for the Sorcerer bonus feat, but if you do not care about Sorcerer Crossblooded, then you're going to take 5 levels of Loremaster. But for the time being, we're going to take this. And then here, we're going to grab Spell Penetration, and Second Bloodline, Elemental Bloodline Water, Arcane Bond, do Cap Familiar here for the stealth checks. You're going to want that way later on, that's going to help us. World Knowledge, and then for whatever spell you want here, and grab Shield. And then that's our level 6. At Mythic level 1, we grab Close to the Heavens. It just seems to work out for this build. You can do what you want here, but I like the Ray heal. And here, we're going to grab Ascendant Element, Cold. So now, all our elements, all our energy damage is already cold thanks to Crossblooded Sorcerer. So now, this just adds to that. Level 7, we take Loremaster. Loremaster helps, we get secrets that are going to aid us. Actually, it'd be good to use Magic Device too. You should at least add a couple points into that. We're going to do that here. Here we grab Meta Magic Maximize. We're going to do the spell, Witch Spellbook. And here, this is going to be for, if you don't know this is kind of a weird quirk, but if we go to Combat Feat, where is it? Improved Critical Ray. For our spells, we're going to want to grab, what do we want to grab? Oh yeah, just do Deep Slumber and Remove Disease or Remove Curse. Or no, Heroism. That's what we want. Heroism is always good. At Mythic level 2, we're going to grab Mythic Spell Penetration. We get a Spirit Paladin here and a few other things. At level 8, we take Loremaster again, Intelligence, and plug in your skills. And for our level 4 spells, we'll take Death Ward and Phantasmal Killer is good here. You can take that or Ice Storm. I'll take that. A lot of people swear up and down by Phantasmal Killer. At level 9, we take another level of Loremaster. We'll plug in our points. Here we take Greater Spell Penetration. As for the secret, we're going to go to Rogue Secret, Combat Trick, all the way down to, you want to do this in order or else it'll mess up. Improved Critical, because you just did Improved Critical before. And we're going to do Ray. Those add up. And now our Ray's crit range is from 18 to 20. Here we can grab Inverteration and do Ice Storm. Now we can grab Mythic Rank 3. At Mythic Rank 3, we will grab Always a Chance. This just makes it to where when we roll a 1, we don't automatically miss. This is useful, but this is also kind of personal choice here. Since this build kind of lacks the extra wizard feats, you could get something like Ascendant Bloodline Elemental here. Elemental Body. And this, you can gain immunity, sneak attacks, critical hits, and cold damage. This is pretty useful, so it's either this or Always a Chance. It's your pick. Here I'm going to go and do Always a Chance. Here we grab Perception 1. You are constantly affected by the equivalent of C invisibility spell. And here we just grab some spells. Those 3. And here you get sneak attacks. So that actually qualifies us for Arcane Trickster, which we will be going into. And you get Sneaky Quack, you get some pixies, and yeah. At level 10, we go for Arcane Trickster. Kind of our bread and butter here. You don't have to keep pumping into mobility. We can do trickery and Arcana and then Magic Device. It's kind of your personal choice here, whatever you want. We're going to do Witch Spellbook. We continue our spell progression. Here we grab Baleful Polymorph, and we'll go ahead and grab Cloudkill. At level 11, we grab our second level Arcane Trickster and keep pumping those points up. And here we're going to grab Meta Magic, Quicken Spell. Very useful. As for spells, which spells can be kind of... We don't have a lot of the general spells people might pick up at this stage, like Echolocation and some other things maybe. I'm going to grab False Life Greater. You can't go wrong with that. And since we have Meta Magic selective spells, Volcanic Storm would be good here as well. At Mythic rank 4, we will grab Improved Critical Mythic Ray. And this stacks with what we were doing earlier. And here we're going to grab Infuse Magic Device and Perception 2. So now nothing you see escapes your notice. You automatically detect creatures who are attempting to use stealth. This also leads us to Completely Normal Spell. This is a pretty freaking cool spell, and I'll explain that in a bit. Spells, just grab Vanish or whatever you want. And then here we grab Chameleon Stride and Mirror Image. No. And we get Fish Missiles here and Beer Elemental. At level 12, we grab another level of Arcane Trickster. Put that point in the int. Plug in our skills. We get a lot of actually points here. You can actually catch up some of your skills if you wanted to. And here we grab Hellfire Ray. You bet you we're going to grab that. And we grab Dispel Magic Greater. Let you get rid of people's buffs. It's great. At level 13, we are grabbing Arcane Trickster. Again, plugging in those points. And here, we're going to grab Meta Magic Completely Normal Spell. This basically makes it to where your level 1 spells become cantrips. So Infinite Snowballs, Infinite Cure Light Wounds or whatever, Infinite Mage Armor, Infinite Shield, and everything else gets reduced down to 1 level. It's pretty good. And then for spells here, Stone to Flesh, and we have Selective Meta Magic, Cone of Cold will probably be good here. At level 14, we grab Arcane Trickster, and put your points in. As for spells, we are going to grab Walk Through Space and Ice Body. At Mythic rank 5, we are going to grab, there's a favorite meta magic, and we're going to grab Maximize. Actually, and if you grabbed Human and you grabbed the Empower spell at first, do that. I keep forgetting we have Selective spell, probably do actually Selective too here. We're going to do Stealth 1, and for spell, Expeditious Retreat, Blur, we're going to do Displacement and Slow. And here you get Glorious Beard. +2 AC and TR5 slashing. That's pretty good. You can get a couple other cool things here. Level 15, we're grabbing our 6th level of Arcane Trickster. Plug these sweet points in. As for feat, we're going to grab Meta Magic, Intensify. And then for spells, here we're going to grab, I'm going to try Hold Person Mass and Heal. Heal is pretty good here because it can pretty much heal everything. We don't get like the utility of like a wizard class here, but we are getting a wizard skill book or a spell book you'll see here shortly. At Mythic rank 6, try delaying your level up to level 16. Delay that before you get this, or delay it as much as you can. Here we're going to grab extra mythic ability, and then another favorite meta magic. And here we can grab Maximize. Here we're going to do Knowledge World, Reuse Magic Device, and for spells, Feather Step, Find Traps, Hold Person, Invisibility Greater, and Chameleon Stride Greater. And then you get a bunch of cool things here. All right, now we grab Arcane Trickster, level 7, for point to int. And actually, I'm going to actually pump my points into Perception, bring that back up to match the rest. Here, we are going to grab Frightful Aspect and Storm Bolts. You could grab things like Resurrection or whatnot. And on that note too, there's a lot of things we could have grabbed before, like Legendary Proportions, True Seeing Communal, like Banshee Blast. There's a lot of good ones in here, so you don't necessarily pick what I pick, but these are things that I've picked and used. Now we can grab Mythic level 7. And here we're going to grab another favorite meta magic, and we'll do Quicken. Then we'll grab Mobility 1. Then we'll grab Use Magic Device 3. Now, this is where we get the Wizard Spellbook at full progression. It's very useful. So we're going to grab Cat's Grace, Dominate Animal, Shadow Conjuration, Shadow Evocation, and Mindfuck. Phantasmal Healer, and a bunch of other things. And a greater beer elemental, nice. Rain of Halbergs, that was another thing too. This is really nice for chunking down like mirror image and stuff. So here's an example of the Wizard Spellbook now at full progression. I have no spells because you got to go and copy them in. That's the only downside about that is you got to go buy all the spells and copy them in, but you have full progression with the wizard spellbook spells and witch. So yeah, that just grows a lot of spells. At level 17, we're grabbing our 8th level of Arcane Trickster, and then we'll pump those points in. And here we're gonna grab another skill focus, Stealth. And then here for spells, we'll grab Rift of Ruin, Resurrection, and then Mind Blank will be another one we grab. Now we grab Mythic level 8. And here we're going to grab Mythic Sneak Attacker. Sneak Attacks deal additional 1d6 damage. It doesn't seem like a lot, but hey, it adds up. Or you can choose something else. Then we're going to grab Lore Religion, Stealth 2, and it works more like basically invisibility. We're going to grab Visibility, Stinking Cloud, Phantasmal Killer, Dominate Person, Umbral Strike, and Cat's Grace Mess. There we go. Charm whatever. Summon Wild Hunt Monarch. We're also going to grab our 9th level of Mythic. And here we're going to do Favorite Meta Magic Intensified. I'm going to do Persuasion 1, Knowledge World 2, we're going to do Blink, Rainbow Pattern, Feeble Mind, Eagle Splendor Mass, and then Shadow Conjuration Greater, and Insanity. Ray of Halbergs, Summon Wild Hunt, a lot of good things. Again, this is really good. At level 18, we grab our 9th level of Arcane Trickster, and we're gonna level some of these things out. We grab Polar Midnight and Mind Blank Communal. And for level 19, we do Arcane Trickster 10 and pump our stats. Our feat here, we're gonna grab Improved Critical Ray. Then here, Heroic, Vocation, and then we can just grab anything we want. I'm just gonna do Dominate Monster. At level 20, we're practically done. If you didn't take Sorcerer Cross-Blooded, you'd be at level 20 now because you would have took 5 levels of Loremaster. Here, Elemental Witch, or you can do Winter Witch. It really is up to you. The Winter Witch might be the better call here, actually. Yeah, I would say do Winter Witch here. You just benefit from that point into Int. And we get a bunch of points here, so we can actually like beef up all our stats. Witch Spellbook. And then here, it's grab whatever you want. I'd say, yeah, why not? Here, Critical Wounds and Foresight. Now let's get to equipment. Equipment is kind of irrelevant at the beginning of the game. As we all kind of know, it's really slow. So these are things that'll help this build. We also got to remember that any spell we cast is going to be converted to cold. So even though some of these things might, like for example, Ring of Pyromania gets additional damage through fire damage, this will still proc even though we're converting the fire damage into cold damage. That's the good thing. That's the great thing about this build is you don't have to worry about getting like cold gear. You can stick with fire gear. I've always liked that. So I guess I'll start with the weapons. First half of the War Mage, it adds +2 DC for all saving throws against spells the wielder casts. It also grants a wielder a +4 bonus to caster levels made to overcome spell resistances and a +5 competence bonus to use magic device skill checks. Plague of Magnus, this quarterstaff is a +3 quarterstaff. This one, whenever you cast the same spell 3 times, it basically your next spell is empowered and maximized, which is really cool. And of course, Fiery Spell Wielder, +5 Flaming Burst quarterstaff, grants wearer +1. Bonus to caster level, +4 bonus checks to overcome spell resistance, and a +15 competence bonus to use magic device skill checks. All these staffs are pretty great. Now onto the headpiece, Headband of Vast Intelligence. This is pretty standard for int builds, so whenever you can get something like this, put that on. We took Broken Trickster Mask. It's just really good. Whenever the wearer takes any damage of any type, they gain resistance 20 to this energy for 1 round. Whenever the wearer takes physical damage, they gain DR 20 for 1 round. We take Cloak of Carnage for the +5 bonus to Knowledge Arcana skill checks and the +2 DC for all saving throws against spells from the Evocation School that we cast. Ring of Protection +5, or whatever ring you want to put here. And then the Ring of Pyromania, and deals fire whenever you do a fire damage. This deals an extra 1d6 +5 fire damage. Also get a +2 bonus to caster level checks made to overcome spell resistance. Then we got the Scorching Bracers. These golden bracers grant the wielder an ability to cast Scorching Ray 3 times per day as a 12th level caster. They also increase the save DC against all Evocation School spells the wearer casts by 2. For an amulet, we take the Legacy of the Last Aslanti. We mainly care about the third thing on this, where basically all our spells that we cast whether they're acid, cold, or whatever element. All of them deal 2 additional damage per dice rolled, and their DCs are increased by 2. And for armor, I chose the Haramaki of Divine Guidance. You get +4 sacred bonus to all saving throws. You can't really wear armor anyway, so the nice thing is that we can wear this without any penalties. For shirt, Elemental Imbuement. Whenever we take elemental damage, the next round, any spell cast by us, if it deals the same kind of elemental damage that the wearer receives, it deals a +2 damage per dice rolled. Belt of Physical Perfection +6. I mean, this is pretty straightforward belt. Put whatever you want here until you get something like this. Gloves, Treacherous Flame. Whenever the wearer of these gloves lands a sneak attack against an enemy, the enemy becomes vulnerable to fire for 1 round and suffers additional 2d6 fire damage. Remember, even though we got our spells converted to cold, this still procs. In addition, whenever the enemy who has been hit by the wearer at least once takes fire damage from any source, it suffers a -3 penalty on all saves for 2 rounds. And for boots, we got Boots of Magical Whirl. Whenever the wearer of these boots kills a demon for the first time in battle, their next spell becomes quickened as though using the Quicken spell feat. And that pretty much wraps up the build for this character. This is a very utility-based character, being that it's going down the Trickster path, or Trickster Mythic path. There's a lot of goodies about this. The sneak attacks are great with this. The fact that all the spells are converted to cold is an added bonus, because then you're hitting potentially 2 different elements on enemies. I don't know, actually I haven't tested this. I don't know when you attack an enemy who has, say, a resistance to both frost and fire, if it cuts through both of those, or one or the other. I believe it's only the one, the cold, but under certain circumstances it might be both. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments. But with that though, guys, that'll be the end of this video. I really appreciate you guys hanging in there for this long. I do want to put up another build video. I got another one coming up for a White Mage Arcanist. That one will be here not too terribly long in the future. And if you like this video, please let me know down in the comments, or if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll be happy to answer. And if you like the video, please sub. It really means a lot. With that though, I will see you guys all in the next video. As always, I'm Paden Sturtevant. Take care and stay safe.